welcome to another star-studded edition of John Santos the Radio. I was the host of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and now I'm introducing your host of the radio, Mr. John Santo. We're choosing this theme, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, for a very special reason. And that will be made clear when we introduce our special celebrity guest co-host. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, say your name.
Rich Walker.
Rich Walker ties in perfectly to the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous theme.
Yes, I do.
Rich Walker, who makes a lot of money doing stand-up comedy around the world. He has Lamborghinis that are worth more than your entire house. He flies on the best business jets all over the globe. Well, let's start the radio, the number one show on this network on this day at this time. Thank you, Robin, and welcome to the radio. And we have, as Robin Leach beautifully introduced, our special guest co-host is Mr. Rich Walker.
I am here, yay!
Now, the last time we pulled a very cool publicity stunt, we had Rich out to dinner with his family, and we faked that he was in the car late for the show. We faked that to try to highlight the restaurant, which is our sponsor.
That was all a show, but we wanted to do something different. So, like David Letterman used to do that kind of stuff. So,
yes.
Right,
yes. Dave? Well, you and I are of the same caliber of comedian. So that's the kind of stuff we pull.
Yes. I'm trying to get both of us on the screen.
You know what I'm doing? I'm going on to the
there we are.
The regular. Right now I'm on the book face. I just got to share the show. I couldn't share the show. I really need a better intern staff here, Rich Walker. I have these interns are terrible.
Terrible.
You know why? Because they're not here. They don't exist. I don't have interns. I need
They're not even working in their remote locations to set you up and get you going.
Right? Because every person of our celebrity profession, we need to have people that help us because we're clueless. You ever see that Seinfeld episode where she's explaining, Jerry, you go to the airport, you walk up to the counter, and she's like, she thinks I'm stupid. She keeps telling me every little detail.
That was great.
I wish I had a person like that. You know, I want a person that thinks I'm stupid, even though I can get to the airport no problem.
The only problem with comedians is we don't make enough money to have an assistant because they want more money than we actually get paid.
Right. And that's why I won't do that. I won't be one of these idiot celebrities that makes hundreds of millions of dollars and then has to GoFundMe to buy their intern a new iPhone. It's like buy the intern the iPhone yourself, you cheapo.
That's ridiculous.
Absolutely horrific. So what's going on in your neck of the woods, Mr. Rich Walker? You had a great show on Strong Island Television last night.
What? We had a great time last night, and you showed up late because you got stuck in traffic.
Awful traffic. I should helicopter. Robin Leach should get me a helicopter. I need to helicopter to the Hamptons. No more of this driving bullshit.
I'd like to afford that for you for the next show. We'll chip in at the studio and get you that.
We're starting a GoFundMe. Let's start a GoFundMe.
Did you see this right here?
What do you got there? What is that? I can't see the audience can't see. We're on the radio, but I can see it. It's a whale. What does it say? The radio with John Santo, and it's a Moby Dick chalkboard. Rich Walker, where did you buy that?
Probably a garage sale.
do you go to garage sales, or is your wife the garage sale person?
We do. We love garage sales.
Both of you love the garage sales.
We love sifting through people's garbage and crap. Now, let me ask you a question. Would Robin Leach ever go to a garage sale?
Only if the garage sale had Learjets.
I had some questions for your celebrities if you ever want to hear them.
Which celebrities do you have questions for? We have so many. That's, I should change the name of the show to Lifestyles of Celebrity Impressions.
Right. I like that. How about it's all about Santo? Something like that. And
I don't. I'm not that kind of celebrity. I'm not that self-absorbed.
Everybody loves Santo.
No, nobody.
I would say you are one of the best impressionists that I've seen since I was a kid. You don't see him anymore.
Oh,
I think that you would have immediately got yourself on that show, The Copycats. Is that before your time?
before my time, yeah.
Well, you know who was on that? It was Rich Little. What's his name? Was it George Kirby? Did he do impressions? But Frank Gorshin was on it.
Frank Gorshin was a phenomenal impressionist. Also the Riddler in the Batman TV show.
That's right. But they had this show. And Marilyn Michaels, I think, was on it. And every week she would do Barbara Streisand, which is amazing because I'm actually friends with her on Facebook. Marilyn
Are you
Michaels.
really?
Yeah, you could friend her through me, and she puts up some good posts every now and then. Do you remember her?
Vaguely remember. But it's funny you mentioned Rich Little.
Yeah.
Okay, I could hear you, Rich. Say what you were going to say. I'm sorry.
No, she was an amazing impressionist, but she did all the female voices, while the guys did everybody else. You know,
there are some amazing impressionists. That there's a woman in California that I'm friends with on Facebook, Rachel Butera.
Yeah,
and I've never met her personally. She does Whoopi Goldberg, and it's scary how exact she sounds like Whoopi Goldberg. She does some other voices which aren't as distinct as Whoopi Goldberg, but she does them perfectly. And she's very, very talented. She's done voiceovers for film.
Was she on America's Got Talent? I might have seen her.
Yeah, she's really she's phenomenal. I think she's from New York and moved to, I might be getting this wrong. She moved to California. I don't know her well, even on Facebook. I don't know her well, but I've heard her demo reel, and it's fantastic.
Now, let me ask you a question. Have you been working on Joe Biden just in case?
Well, that's where I need the Rich Walker Yoda tutelage, because many people should know this, because I mentioned you in the documentary I did, which won an Emmy. I just had to drop that. You helped me with my Trump impression. I wasn't even doing Trump in January of 2016. And we were in the car going to the Skyline up in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And you said, are you doing Trump? I said, Rich, he's not going to get the nomination. Right? I said, I'm not even going to bother. He's not going to win.
Yeah.
So I was working on Kasich. I really thought Kasich was going to be the
contender.
The Republican nominee. Who was the Democrat nominee? Oh, it was Hillary Clinton. Right. That I couldn't do. So that I had to be like, I was against her.
You think you could have learned her?
No, I couldn't. Everybody was telling me to make the best of it and just do my Bill Clinton again. But I was supporting. Who was I supporting in the primary that year? I sent them $5,000. Was it Gore? I wanted Al Gore to run because I did him already. So Gore should have been the nominee then. That would have been better for me.
What does he think about today's situation? What does Gore say?
Well, Rich, I think that no matter what happens, we need to do a recount and recount the votes and count them again. I haven't done them in a while.
Al, is it true you invented the internet? What is that story about?
Well, I invented the internet because I supported the bill that gave the people the money to invent the internet. So I invented the internet money before the internet people invented the technology.
Wow, that's quite a feat.
See how that worked?
Al, turn your phone sideways.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rich. You want it this way.
I
had to turn it to the left.
Right. Look at that. Beautiful.
There we go.
Now we're like NBC right here. Look at this.
That's true. You can see my towel that's covering my window because I just put new windows in. I don't have curtains.
And they're leaking already?
No, ironically, they're not. They're fine. We had to replace all the windows. We had some very old windows that were very bad. This house was in bad shape.
Who did your windows? Can you say?
Yeah, I should get them as a sponsor. The stickers are still on them. Windows by, I can't see the rest of it.
All right.
A window guy.
Everybody will Google Windows by. And see.
It might be. They're not Andersons. We had Andersons. We put in these replacement windows. I don't know.
Yeah, I did a window
Windorama? Oh, Window
No,
Factory.
over here in Deer Park. They were done in one day with 11 windows. Question.
Oh, wait, mine are 18 inches thick, though. Mine are 18-inch Armalite. I have the Secret Service level security because I impersonate presidents.
Right. So you want to be safe at all times. I understand you're in that basement alone. And question for you. I have a question for the BBC reporter, which I never hear from him that often. But what does the rest of the world from England, what does the rest of the world think of America right now?
Rich Walker here. I'm Brent Nigel, BBC News in London. The rest of the world thinks that John Santo's wife's hideous paramilitary camouflage curtains are hideous. They are hideous. We've put them up in Piccadilly Circus, but we do like Rich Walker, the comedian. He's phenomenal.
Yes, all right.
That same guy is always on the BBC. You ever see like when he interviews somebody in a foreign country and there's like a disaster and like they have the same translator? No matter how fast the people are talking, the translator talks slow.
Because the BBC is probably one guy out of his house.
They're everywhere, the BBC. But like they'll interview a guy like in a village. It's like, the floodwaters have ravaged this village for the second time in just over a year. We spoke to this man. The guy's like, and the guy goes, why does the government not send additional help? And the guy, they're so slow to translate. It's like the guy said more than that. He had to have.
Yeah. It's funny because CNN has on these two British people, like only on Sunday nights, like after midnight. It's like Elizabeth Church. And and then I forgot the other guy's name. Some blonde guy wears a suit, and it's funny because like I'm acting like he's actually listening, but he talks like his teeth are gonna fall out of his face, but British accent. I know.
Well, the British, we've had Brent Nigel. We have a BBC affiliate. Oh, is that? Oh, somebody came into your room there.
My son, right here, he creeps around like the grim. Like, look, see the grim.
Wait, you're outside. You're outdoors.
I'm on my patio. Yes.
Oh, I like the brick wall. I thought that was like a really cool room that you had in the house. With the brick wall inside the house.
That's outside. Yes. Well, I live
very nice.
So I want to ask Casey Kasem. You and I, first of all, are into astronomy, right? And space. And I have a question for Casey Kasem. Can he give a long-distance dedication to the crew on the space station? What would he say?
Well, Rich Walker, this is Casey Kasem, and we can do a long-distance dedication to the crew on the International Space Station. I think we should do that song. What's the name of that song? We'll play it, Rich Walker. The name of the song, I think it's Starman by David Bowie. I think that's what we should play. Let me see if I can put it up on Google. YouTube.com. I used to have all these LPs, Rich Walker, in the studio. A lot of vinyl. And we used to have to sift through them to find the song. Now we can do it instantly just by typing it into YouTube or some other place. So let me see if we can pull up Starman by David Bowie. Is that who sang the song? David Bowie. It came out in 1976 and rose to the top of the pop and the soul charts. Let's see. And of course, there's an annoying ad for something I don't want. I hate these ads, Rich Walker. They're annoying.
It's only 30 seconds.
They're like, Rich, 3 seconds is too annoying for me. I don't like the ads. I'm never buying anything from these people. Let's see if we can play Starman. Wait a second. I've got like 5 things open. Here we go. Can you hear that, Rich Walker? It's Starman by David Bowie, and it goes from Rich Walker to the crew of the International Space Station.
Wow.
Rich Walker writes, he writes, Dear Casey. I forgot that part.
Wouldn't that be great if they actually are hearing it up there? They're flipping through their Google and they find this.
Well, Rich Walker, we do have listeners on the International Space Station.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. And Rich Walker, guess what? They do have wake-up music every day they play them a song to wake up the crew. And I think tomorrow they should play Rich Walker's Long Distance Dedication.
Absolutely. That's very good. So we were talking last night. You and I have to go to, when it opens, the Earth and Space Museum in New York City. Which
that's run by Neil deGrasse Tyson, isn't it?
Who? I have no idea.
The astronomer guy.
Oh! What's his first name?
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Is that the guy who's always on with Bill Maher? Curly hair?
Yeah, always on with Bill Maher.
Yeah. He's brilliant.
You got to help me do his voice. I need you to help me with that one. That would be a good one.
Yeah. Let me write down the name. What is it? Neil,
Neil, I believe.
Yeah.
deGrasse Tyson. I saw him in person 5 years ago in Las Vegas. I was I got there early to the. I was at a conference, software conference, and I got there early. I was in the 4th row. He was amazing. He really is incredible. For people like you and I that are into astronomy and space, Rich.
What was he giving a lecture?
He was one of the keynote speakers at the software conference. So they hired him to do something talk about it was a data software company. So he talked about a lot of the movies, like how you ever see Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
Yes.
Remember when they had the landing at that the mountain at the end, right? And he said Devil's Mountain or whatever it was.
I forgot the Devil's.
It's the canyon, Devil's Canyon, or what?
Yeah.
With the flat top mountain there.
Right.
So they had lights guiding them in. Neil deGrasse Tyson goes, they just flew billions of miles through interstellar space. Right. You really think they need your stupid lights to help them land? They can park that damn thing wherever the hell they want. They don't need your lights to guide them in. They know where to go. It's like boom.
Yeah.
They got the lat long. They know where to go.
You think there's life out there?
Absolutely. There has to be.
You think it's on Earth?
I think that some of the strange people that are on Earth are aliens, just like in Men in Black. I believe that's all true. I believe that they made that movie to gradually get us to accept the fact that there is. And those 2 discs at the World's Fairgrounds are crashed alien spaceships. Tommy Lee Jones said, of course, why else would we have had the World's Fair in Queens? That was the best line in that movie.
That is great.
They disguised the ships crashed. They disguised them, those 2 round things, as to hide them.
Yeah.
And then Will Smith goes, "Those are alien spaceships." He goes, "Yeah. Why else would we have had the World's Fair in Queens?"
That's a great line.
That is a great line.
Well, I love all that stuff. It. There was one. I once went up to the Vanderbilt Planetarium, and they had a whole show on aliens. And they said one theory, I think it was somebody from like UCLA or whatever, some professor.
Yep.
And his theory is they're not from another planet. He actually feels that they're from Earth. They're from here, but the ones with the big head, with the eyes, with the big eyes, the big black eyes, and a little slit for the mouth. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
The face everyone sees. But he thinks that, again, what Neil Dyson was saying was that they don't need, wherever they're coming from, if they are coming from another planet, would be so far away that they wouldn't need lights on a spaceship, to guide them. They would be somehow transported here or whatever. But he thinks that they're from another dimension known to man, meaning that like a fish, they showed a fish in the bottom of the ocean, and a scuba diver comes down, and the fish is like, whoa, look at the scuba diver. But the scuba diver is not from another planet. The scuba diver is merely from Earth, but from another dimension known to that fish.
Oh, so interesting.
So he thinks that they're coming in and out of our world, because to get here would be how many 400 million light years away. Yes. It would be way too far for another planet. So he thinks that we're sharing the same area with somebody else.
There must be something else on all the. There's billions of planets out there that they know about. There must be something. It's what's incredible to think about space. This is going to get very deep, but like, how big is space, and what's beyond that? Does it go on forever, or is that all there is? And then if there is a limit, what's that? What's beyond that limit? What's contained
But
within
how
that
could there
limit?
be a limit? It
I
just
don't know.
goes on and on and on with galaxy after galaxy, and it's like crazy.
But
Just
but we can, our brains can't comprehend
No.
that kind of distance.
no.
Like, so like how many more galaxies are there out there, and how many are there? Unlimited number of planets? There has to be a
There
limit.
could be hundreds of billions of galaxies, and every galaxy has their own set of solar systems within it.
Right.
Right.
And how many of those are there?
We're in the Milky Way, right?
Yeah.
Now,
I like Three Musketeers, but yeah, we're in the Milky Way.
Yeah. Now, are there more? You would know better than me. Are there more solar systems in the Milky Way, or are we the only solar system in the Milky Way?
I don't know.
I don't know. I have a friend that would know that answer. But I saw this one special, and they showed this little girl. She was about 6 years old, and she drew pictures of herself with aliens.
Mm-hmm.
And they look like that big head with the eyes. And she said they come and they take her every night since she was like 4. Right. And make her play on swings and slides and stuff like that. And she says surrounding her is other children, but they can't. She goes, they look like me, kind of, but they're not. They don't look like me. And she said that I asked the men that take me, why can't they play with me? And they said, well, we don't breathe the same air you do, but we're getting there. We're trying to make it so we could all play together. But the other children would just watch her play like they were learning. Now, you think that's something that a child of 6 years old can make that up? That just sounds too wild.
That sounds pretty out there. But anything is possible. Hey, you ready for this?
Yeah.
You asked about the Milky Way. I Googled it. You ready for this?
Yeah.
You're sitting down. It's gonna knock you on. It's gonna knock you down. The Milky Way. That's where our galaxy is. That's our galaxy, and that's our solar system, right?
Yeah.
The radius of the Milky Way is 52,850 light years. So that's just the size of the Milky Way, right? 52,850 light years. That's crazy. There are 250 billion stars, plus or minus 150 billion. That's like McDonald's, billions and billions served.
And every star could have its own set of planets.
Yeah.
Like the sun.
Yeah.
Wow. See,
that's crazy.
That's just one galaxy. If you look up in the sky, there's millions of galaxies.
Now, our technology took us how many years just to get out of our solar system? It took that probe launch in the 70s, 40 plus years to leave the solar system.
Yeah.
So that's the extent of our technology, 40 years just to leave the neighborhood.
Well, the thing that went on to Pluto and went around Pluto actually left, and it's still traveling.
Right. That's who the hell knows where. Right. Crazy.
I'm sure they're trying to keep track.
These are big things, but the further it gets, the longer it takes to send back data.
Oh.
Like the lag.
So people 30 years from now could get the data that's being sent.
Right, but the further it gets, the less real time it is, the more delay. So I think from Jupiter to here is like a 20-minute delay for the data. That's just Jupiter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jupiter's. You've seen Jupiter, right? Because we talked about the moons. Yeah, and, Jupiter's been bright in the sky. You can see Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars all in the same time.
In the southern sky, if anybody looks out their window now, it may be too cloudy tonight. But
yeah, it's a little cloudy out there.
The brightest star in the southern sky is not actually a star. That's Jupiter. And if you look to the left of Jupiter, that's Saturn. There's another faint little star. That's Saturn. And in the eastern sky tonight at around 11, you'll see Mars.
Then you'll see Mars. And if you look at Mars long enough, if you're in a dark area and you let your eyes adjust over time, you can clearly see the red hue.
Oh, yeah.
That Mars gives off clearly. I mean, it's not even... It's amazing to see that. I really enjoy seeing Mars on a clear night. When I'm out for a while.
When you're looking through it, see my fingers like how they're shaking a little like this?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it looks like through a telescope, because I don't know, it has something to do with transmitting, or if anybody knows that answer, they could write it or call in. But it's a crazy world. Question.
It is, yes.
I got a question for James Carville. I haven't heard from him in a while. Any recommendations for Biden? Should he should he go to Nashua, or what? What do you think, James?
Well, I think that whatever they got to do out there, if you're going to talk to the people out there, you got to get out there and talk to the people out there. So you got to get out of the basement. You got to get out there on the campaign trail. You know, when I worked for Bill Clinton, we used to hit 400 states a day. Okay, 400 states in a day. We'd hit that. We'd be all over the place. Not state, cities. Well, we'd be out there 400 cities. We got the airplane running back and forth over there, and we go. We do a speech for these people. Hi, hello, goodbye. Then we see these people. Hi, hello, goodbye. And we just, that's what we did. You got to get out there and meet the folks.
Yeah, very interesting. Bernie, are you ever going to retire?
Hello, Rich Walker. No, I'm never going to retire. I can't afford to retire. I don't have the money because the top 1% of 1% of 1% are stealing all of the money. They're stealing it.
So you can't retire.
I can't retire. I'm not going to retire. I have to keep doing what we're doing. We have to get out there and we have to invest more in America.
Is there chances that you're going to run in 2024 if Trump wins this time around?
If Trump wins, I will run in 2024. I am going through genetic gene therapy as we speak so that I can regenerate my cells so I can run in 2024, 2028, 2032.
Good.
Because we have to stop the rich, not you, Rich Walker. You're okay. I'm talking about the rich people.
Question now, unless you had other things you want to talk about.
Well, we could talk about healthcare. We could talk about the environment. We could talk about.
Yes. Do you hear anything through Congress at all about relief money coming?
We need to, not to the billionaires, Rich Walker.
Right.
Not to the rich people. If their name is rich, that's fine. But
what
if they're
comedians?
Rich, comedians should be getting $10,000 a month in a stipend, and they should deduct this. Rich Walker, we have to have a 100% deduction for comedians. If you're in your car, Rich Walker, and you write a joke about traffic, you should be able to deduct your car payment because that's a business expense.
That's great, and I'm going to take you up on that offer. What about is Andrew Cuomo there? Does he see any future in my check coming soon?
Rich Walker, we are doing what we can be doing to get you a check. We have to get you a check. The people need to get a check, and they need the check. They should not have to wait. The government needs to send them a check. You gotta send them a check.
And it's as easy as that.
It's Rich. You literally, and I don't want to get political, but you literally take a pen and you write a check to Rich Walker, $10,000 a month. And then I signed it to Andrew Cuomo. I put it in the mail. 55 cents. Oh, I have forever stamps, Rich Walker, so I don't know how much a stamp was because I already paid for them. But they need to send the check to Rich Walker so he can write the jokes.
See, you're brilliant. You should run. Any chances you'll run for president in the future?
I am considering it. I think I should run. I think it's about time that we have a president from New York State because we are the best state. Look, not to be personal to the other 49 states, but we're the best state. Okay? We are better than the rest of the country. That's a fact. Okay, facts. Facts don't lie. Our pizza is the best. Our bagels are the best. And we are the best. We're New York tough and we're New York arrogant. And we are better than every other person in every other state in the country.
We've sustained such great loss, and it made us strong. Would you agree with that?
Strong, and we have the best pizza, the best bagels, we have the best cuisine, If you wanted to have any cuisine of any country in the world, you could have it. Well, once we reopen the restaurants, you can have that cuisine anywhere in New York.
Great.
Facts. Fact.
That's fact.
Fact.
That's fact.
Fact.
I have a question for Jack Palance.
Rich Walker. Go ahead.
Are there? You always played great cowboys in movies, Jack.
City Slickers. Yeah.
City Slickers. Are there cowboys in heaven? Do cowboys go to heaven?
A lot of cowboys. And you know who else is up here? Tango and Cash. Tango and Cash. I'm sorry. Ray Tango. Real Cash. How many millions that time? How many? They stole my money, but they were safely behind bars.
And wasn't Jack? Weren't you on a great TV show, Unsolved? Was that you on Unsolved Mysteries?
That was Robert Stack.
No, but he was on another one where he did something mystery. Jack Palance TV show.
I'm afraid I don't recall.
I'll look it up later. I'll figure it out. Maybe one of the viewers can write it in.
Oh yeah, I should be checking the comments. I forgot to check the comments. Forgot to check.
You forgot to check. Well, you're a very busy man, Governor. Yeah, so I'm waiting. And listen,
forgot the audience.
I'm not for everybody.
You gotta see that face you just made. Classic. And that line that you said that time when we were at the thing, I gotta tell the audience the story, right? So Rich is up there destroying the room.
Well, I don't know.
Destroying the room, right? So, but that one table, for whatever reason, the whole room laughed at your joke. That one, not even the whole table,
nothing. Yeah.
Right in the front, that table didn't laugh. And Rich Walker goes, "Yeah, I'm not for everybody." And then the whole place went. I went nuts.
Was that at Windsor-Locks?
Windsor-Locks. You're just like, "Yeah, I'm not for everybody."
Windsor-Locks. There's something about that stage that is the audience. You're right in with the audience. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's no separation. It's almost like you're on a stage in front of the audience, but they come into your world like they're with you. You know.
Well, the tables are very close. They're on both sides of the stage, and the stage isn't that high either.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Right? It's a low stage,
like a half a foot, 6 inch, 7 inches, maybe.
Yeah. So it's not that high, and they literally wrap around like the stage. But Theater 3 is like that too. But Theater 3 is a big square stage, but they're on all sides of the stage.
That's right. Yeah.
Right at Theater 3 in the club downstairs, in the comedy club. Yeah.
That's a great room.
I love that room. That room is fantastic.
I love upstairs too. I love
both. You know, it's like
I heard Keith Anthony talk about it, and his word for it. Someone said, "What is it like to play Port Jefferson?" And Keith Anthony goes, "It's wonderful. It is wonderful. It's a great word for it."
Did I ever tell you what I did when I did Theater 3 and I was doing my Trump at the end? And I said, Theater 3 is a fantastic theater. I love Theater 3. Isn't Theater 3 fantastic? It's the best theater. I don't know why they don't call it Theater 1. I mean, it's so good. They should call it Theater 1. It's the best theater. And the whole place went nuts.
That's great. I would do that every time you're there.
Every time I'm there, I do that bit, yeah.
That is great.
That's a fun bit.
It's the best.
It's the best theater in the whole country. Should be called Theater 1.
I have a question. We're doing good on time, right?
Yeah, we got 25 minutes left.
Now, this is my last thing I wrote down because I didn't think we'd go through these so quick. But I have a question for Morgan Freeman. Is he around? Is he down in the basement with you?
Hello, Rich Walker. This is Morgan Freeman.
That is Morgan Freeman. Morgan, is there ever going to be a Shawshank 2? Are we going to see them open up a library? Or maybe they'll get together with Alan Arkin and rob a bank? What could possibly you guys do?
I think that is a brilliant idea. what I would do is we could have Andy and I open up the boating business and start a accounting firm to do income. Do they have income tax in Mexico? I don't even know. But if they do,
they don't even need it.
We'll do income taxes, boats, and a library.
Nice. One time I didn't see Shawshank Redemption until like 5 years ago. And do you remember a comic named Angry Bob?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I put on Facebook, I said, wow, what a great movie this is, this Shawshank Redemption. I never seen it before. And he said to me, he wrote on the caption, he goes, what were you, stuck in a 500-foot shithole? Remember the pipe? Were you stuck?
Andy must have breathed in the worst smells that anybody could ever imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to crawl through all that shit.
Yeah, what a great ending. I actually, I read up on it, and there was so many things. It's a movie, but there was so many things that were impossible. They said that the pipe that he would have had to get through, he could have never got through. It would have been
too small, right? Too small.
It would only been about 12 inches.
Right.
Top.
Yeah.
Maybe towards the end it would open up to a bigger pipe, but there was a couple of things they said were impossibilities. But what a great that was. Even my son, after he saw it, said that might have been the best picture I've ever seen. That was
a really good movie, and it was. You know what's ironic about that movie? Did you ever see the? There was an NBC show that was short-lived with Josh Brolin. It was called Mr. Something. He was a senator from California.
Yeah.
I can't. Mr. I forget. Anyway, long story short, the governor that appoints him, because the senator dies. So when a senator dies, the governor appoints one until the next election.
Got it.
So the governor was played by the warden, okay? And he's the son of an ex-governor, and the ex-governor was played by the guy who played Brooks. So the two guys from the Shawshank Redemption, both were the governor of California. One's the current governor, one's a former governor.
Wow.
And the current governor appoints the son of the former governor, who's Brooks, to the seat. Yeah, it was great. And then they asked him, so they assumed that he was a Democrat. So this reporter asked him, well, what, are you going to join the Democrat caucus? He's like, no, I'm an independent. And then that set off everybody going crazy, because so what happened was he was asking people for money. He taught, and ironically, he taught in a prison. He would teach computers to prisoners so that when they got out, they would have computer skills. So he asked, so when he got to Washington, he asked the chairman of the finance committee for $6,000 for computers for California prisons. And he goes, you asked the chairman of the finance committee for $6,000? Are you out of your mind? Or $30,000, whatever it was. So they're all he's getting blown off. He's a junior senator. They're like, shut up. You don't say anything. So he says he's an independent, but he's the one seat that either tips the power to the Republicans or the Democrats. Now they're all kissing his ass. The Republicans want him on their side. The Democrats want him on their side, because that controls who the majority leader is.
Yeah.
So now they're like, here's the $30,000 for the computers, and they're getting he's getting everything done. So all the senators are like, that was the greatest power play in the history of politics. But he was just being sincere. He's like, I'm not political. I don't have a party. It was a great show. It only lasted a couple of episodes, but it was really great. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I thought NBC should have tied it in with The West Wing at the time. They could have had him tied in. There's all the like Law and Order. They integrate with all the other shows.
They would have got their audience. They should have done it. They should have had it come on before or after the show.
Yeah, right. It could have been like a
lead-in.
Right, something like that, like the Love Boat Fantasy Island or something like that.
Yeah.
Huh. You would like that.
They meet you and me at NBC.
We got to write this shit because these freaking stooges, they don't know how to write.
They don't understand, G.
I'm a New Jersey resident and I want action.
Now, did you get into it all? It sounds like you loved The Sopranos. Did you get into like Boardwalk Empire, like Steve Buscemi? Or
you know what? I didn't, and people are yelling at me, so I have to watch it now. Because all my friends are like, people are threatening to not talk to me unless I watch Boardwalk Empire.
The only problem is now you can't just see a movie, sit down and watch. You got to watch 5 years of it.
Yep. Well, actually, did you ever watch Homeland?
No, I can't. It's too long.
So I started binge. Everybody told me, John, you got to watch the Homeland. You would love Homeland. I'm like, nah, I already started, right? If you don't get into a show right away, I'm old fashioned that you missed it. But you can binge watch. So I binge watched up until the current season one time. Then I had to wait a week. I was watching 3-4 episodes at a time.
They're like an hour each?
Yeah, or 50 minutes. But I'm like, oh my God, I have to see what happens next. I can't go to bed now up till like 3 a.m.
I got to write this into a bit, but you know what gets me because everybody's got their shows they watch on Netflix now. But the only thing is going to get me is if they go, yeah, you should watch it. It's only 20 minutes an episode. All right, no, I'm in for that. Like The Office is 9 seasons, but there's 100 episodes a season.
Right. Hey, Rich, I never read the books. I used to just watch the movie. Well, Marlon Brando, great actor. I'm in and out in 2 hours.
Great actor.
But some of these shows, like, did you ever watch Manifest on NBC where the plane disappears for 4 years?
Oh, and they come back, and the people that were on it? Yeah, I saw, like, maybe the first episode.
Yes. Okay, I watched the first 3, and then I'm like, this should be over by now. This should have been a movie or a very short miniseries, like 3, 4, 5, 6 episodes.
And wrap it up.
You can't do this over 2 seasons. How much mystery is it? The flight appeared again. There's no more mystery. It's like, come on. It was too long. They got to shorten this stuff up.
I don't know if your kids dragged you into watching Stranger Things that all the kids watch.
No, I never watched that. No.
Well, first of all, it's a big monster. And it's a flip side of a universe. It's like our world and then their world, right?
Right.
And they kill the monster at the end. They blow it up in a million pieces. But then at the very end of the episode, you see this.
Right.
And now the monster's alive for all next season. But at the end of every season, they destroy and kill the monster. But then they show the other side of the planet, and he's up. He's alive. After 2 seasons, I said, this show is ridiculous.
Ridiculous, yeah. I watch shows. Okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. It was just uninteresting. I want the movie to be over. I want one movie, 2 hours tops, get in and out, kill the thing, and move on.
Now, I'll tell you what, there were 2 shows that I've been watching on Netflix that really held me. One was called The Spy with Sacha Baron Cohen. And he was so good in you saw that?
No, but I know Sarah Bareilles Cohen.
He was so good in this role, you forgot it was him.
Really?
That's how good he was, yes. And he plays this, it's really happened, he was an Israeli intelligence officer in like 1960. Now, Israel's only like 10, 12 years old at the time. Late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah.
And he gets so ingrained in Syria. Like, they set him up over years, his cover. They built the cover for him. He was a businessman in Syria sending back intelligence to Israel.
What? Did you ever see him in Talladega Nights?
No, I've only seen him in the one with the Borat.
I'm coming to get you, Ricky Bobby. He plays the bad guy car driver that who is Shake and Bake? What's their names? Will Ferrell and who's Will Ferrell's always his partner in every movie. Brothers. John Thomas Howell or something. Thomas Riley.
Something like that, yeah.
Something Riley.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The guy who's in like every movie. He was in Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. He's in like every movie.
But they're a team. They're a race team. But then Sarah Bareilles Cohen comes in, and he's this foreigner, like an Italian race car driver. But it is so funny. He goes, there was one scene, and people out there that are fans of it are going to kill me. But this, I remember him like, he goes, you better drop out of the race or something. And Will Ferrell cursed him out, and he goes, I'm going to break your arm. And Will Ferrell goes, oh, yeah, you break my arm like this. So in 2 seconds, he breaks his arm. And like, just to show him that he meant everything he said, Sarah Bareilles Cohen, man, he's just, there's nothing he's ever done that's not funny or good.
But but this isn't a comedy though. This is a serious role for him.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy was executed by the Syrians in real life. That's a true story. Phenomenal role. But you and I should make a movie. We should be like detectives. I'd like to make like a Miami Vice
Let's do it.
movie with the music and
Like a 48 hours.
Yes, like a 48 hours, something like that. Those buddy cop movies make a lot of money.
Yeah. What was that one that was really good with Charles Grodin and
Midnight Run.
Was that Midnight Run?
Yes. With De Niro is the bail bondsman guy, and he's got to bring Charles Grodin, the Duke.
Right, who's a white collar criminal.
Yes, and Dennis Farina is the mafia guy that's trying to take him out.
That's right. That was a great movie.
I got to tell you a funny Dennis Farina story. I used to work right across from Madison Square Garden, and they were filming Law and Order across the street. I've seen a couple of different characters from Law and Order filming. The big tall guy from Full Metal Jacket. So I'm walking to lunch to the pizza place I always go to, and Dennis Farina is right there. He's right there behind. Like they had like a little Law and Order fence set up, like with the logo on it.
Yeah.
Crowd control fence, and he's right there. He's waving to the crowd. He's coming over talking to people. So he comes over to me. I'm like, I love your movies. And then I said to him, I got to take a car to the effing airport. And he started dying because when he gets in the back, gets Shorty. He gets in the back of the car and he goes, effing airport. That's it. That's all he tells the driver. Effing airport. I cracked up when I see that.
I was with Steve Lazarus and we were in the Friars Club, and sitting at a table by himself was Dennis Farina. And I go, who's that? And he goes, it's Dennis Farina, the actor. I'm like, I don't know. I never saw Law and Order, but I didn't really know him, but I saw his face.
You didn't know him from Midnight Run? He was in Midnight Run. He was the mafia guy.
Yeah, now I know who he is, yeah. So we're walking around the Friars Club. We're going for the second floor, the third floor, back down to the first floor. And I said to Steve, Steve, I don't know if this isn't right. I was expecting to come to the Friars Club and see celebrities where the biggest celebrities aren't supposed to be Dennis Farina, me, and you. Did you ever go to the Friars Club?
I have never been there.
Oh, you would love it, but it's very.
Isn't it out of business?
Is it out? Well, maybe it is.
I think so.
It was rough. It was rough for them. They didn't want to change. They didn't want to update. It was still old. If you didn't have a jacket, you had to wear one of their jackets. If you didn't have shoes, you had to wear one of their shoes. And it was just strict.
I like that old school thing.
Yeah, but it was, $20 a drink. It's just not good.
Oh, it was expensive, right? Now,
what it was,
don't you have to be a member of the club?
Whoever brought you in paid. And like the rule is they had to spend, let's say you're a comedian, you paid $3,500 a year. I don't know. Maybe they let you in for free. It depends on who you are. But you had to guarantee $2,500 a year in food. So that's why people who belong there always take their friends to the Friars Club.
Because there were minimums.
You were going to be charged it anyway.
Right. I heard that. There was minimums that you had to spend, right? That's a lot of money. So you have to pay $3,500 to join?
Whatever it is. Let's say it's $2,000. If you are John Santo, you're a comedian, and they know you, then I heard that they'll even courtesy let you in, and not charge you. But you're still going to have to pay the $2,500 a year.
Wow. But people would take their... Where was it? I forget where it was.
It wasn't far over like the 59th Street Bridge. And you went
so we would drive there, right? It's by Dangerfield Zone. Look it up. I thought it went out of business. Actually, it says it's open.
The New York Friars Club. I never heard it going out of business.
Current location. Somebody posted it.
You know what it takes to get into the Friars Club, though?
What?
A checkbook.
A checkbook. I thought it was like a exclusive.
Nah, they let accountants in and lawyers, and they're the ones who love it the most because they feel important being part of it.
What, the lawyers?
Yeah.
So I think it's a landmark. The Friars has been there since 1957. 6-story townhouse on East 55th Street. But somebody said it was out of business.
Steve Lazarus and I were sitting at the table with Larry Storch. You know who Larry Storch is?
Why does that sound familiar?
Corporal Agon from F Troop. He's the one who
yes.
and a big Broadway star too. But Larry Storch, his back was against those old cast iron radiators that you see in houses that are like 100 years old. And Steve Lazarus said to him, Larry, if you get any closer to that radiator, you're going to be Larry Scorched. But Larry Storch laughed so hard. He goes, do you know I've never heard that my whole life? You would think I would have heard it.
He never heard it?
No. He said it was so funny.
So I just saw a story that said that it was out of business, and now I'm on Wikipedia, and it's not out of business.
Oh.
So we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out more about that. The Friars Club. How's the food there? Is it good?
Oh yeah, it's like a country club. Food it was always good.
Now here it is, page 6. It says it's out of business. What the hell? How come we can't get reliable information here? Yeah, it says that it closed in early this year.
Well, but closed for the pandemic or closed for good? It's so old, they probably own the building.
Yeah. The future, I don't know. It's so fragmented. Like, there should be like a status of the thing. I don't know. We'll have to look into this further. That would be upsetting. Did you ever see the movie The King of Comedy?
Of course. Are you kidding?
So I posted something earlier this week because somebody was like somebody wanted to sue de Blasio for the restaurant closings. So I posted a picture of Jerry's lawyer from King of Comedy. That's it. We're suing. We're suing everybody. We're suing you. We're suing everybody. And the FBI guy goes, who is this man? He goes, it's Jerry's lawyer. That's who he is. He goes, who am I? I'm the one who's suing. I'm the lawyer. That's who I am. That was the best.
That is a great line. Do you know what Joe DeVito once said that Taxi Driver, which I'd never seen, The Joker, the new movie, The Joker, and King of Comedy are all very closely related. If you look at, Taxi Driver is it mental illness of the driver, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was De Niro. But also in this, I mean, there's like we were talking about how they even put De Niro in The Joker because there's a close proximity between the two movies. And then also the King of Comedy was the same thing, mentally ill comedian or funny man, And they talk about the Tonight Show and kidnapping the Tonight Show. Did you see King of Comedy? You saw it?
Oh, I've seen it. One of the reasons I'm a comic.
Better be the king of one night than what did he say? A schmuck.
Better to be the king for a night than schmuck for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Rupert Pumpkin, ladies and gentlemen. Rupert Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
The other one I like in that
Sandra
movie
Bernhardt was great.
She was fantastic.
Her underwear. Jerry.
I like when he's walking on the street and everybody's waving to him, and then this woman is like, "Oh my God, Maurice, you're not going to believe who's here. Jerry Langford just walked by. Oh, Mr. Langford, we followed your career, your entire career. You're the joy to the world. Would you sign this? Or would you please talk to my nephew who's in the hospital? I'm sorry, I'm late. You should get cancer. I hope you get cancer." That was the best. And the woman's face went from smiles to like vicious. And it's on YouTube. You can see the whole movie on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. I remember the scene.
And I think it's like 38 minutes into the movie. I fast forward to it all the time. She's like, "You're a joy to the world. We follow your career forever. Thank you for signing this. Could you talk to my nephew? You should get cancer. I hope you get cancer." Oh, it's the best. That part and that lawyer part. Those are my favorite lines because the dialogue is silly.
It was in the Friars Club, right?
No, so they're talking about how Jerry's kidnapped, and he goes, "Oh, we got to get him back, but under no circumstances are we going to put this man on the air. But we don't have to decide that until 11:30. We'll tape at 7." And he's like, "That's it. We're suing. We're suing."
Yes.
I love that part.
It was a great movie. It was very bone chilling,
Yeah. Well, you know how worried I am I'm going to get kidnapped so somebody can come on this show? Some open micer wants to kidnap me so they can be on the radio. Meanwhile, I'll put anybody on.
Do you know it's really funny because right before this, I had a little nap on the couch, and I had a dream that you came to me. You came to me, and you go, Rich, I need you to handle the show for me for 2 weeks. Let me. I'm like, you rest, John. You rest. Don't you worry about it. We should do that scene. We should make that scene. Don't worry, I got the show covered for you as long as you need.
That's funny.
You remember that?
Yep, that's funny. Like when Don Rickles broke Carson's cigar box. Did you ever see that one?
Yes, of course.
And then he goes, "Where is he?" And he was taping the Navy show, and he goes, "Can I get over there?" And he goes behind the scenes. CPO Sharky.
Right next door.
And he goes, "Can I get over there?" And they're like, "Yeah, we have the remote camera." And that was the first time in television history they went behind
the scenes
into the studio like that, and it was great. And then he goes, "Stop the taping," and they're all like, "Oh my God, Carson just walked in," and Rickles is cracking up. You see, back then there was more fun. I think, like they could laugh at each other, they could make fun of each other. They did those roasts, the Dean Martin roast. That kind of humor was gold. Even today, I still like to watch them on YouTube.
Did you ever see it when Johnny Carson was on with Burt Reynolds and they went tit for tat and it started getting nasty? And then what?
No, I never saw that.
Oh my God. And what did Johnny Carson take out? Whipped cream?
Burt Reynolds?
Well, Burt Reynolds. It was either Burt Reynolds stuffed the whipped cream down Johnny's pants or Johnny did it to Burt Reynolds. I forgot now. Just put Burt Reynolds with Johnny Carson.
I already wrote it down.
Whipped cream. And another thing I want you to write down.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever see the Lego Star Wars canteen?
No. Lego?
Oh my God. Star Wars canteen. You're going to thank me later.
Hey, audience, you should. If Rich is telling me to write it down, that means you should too.
Absolutely.
You should be watching this.
You and I forgot about the audience a half hour ago.
I know. We've just been talking. In fact, I think the show's over.
They're already on the next show.
You know what's funny? We're probably off the air.
He's turning the lights off.
You know what's funny about this show? It's like that's what I love about this show is like it's part news, it's part celebrity interview, and then it's part, like us talking about things of interest, information. So that's why we're so successful. That's why the radio is the #1 television talk show, news show on this network at this time on this day.
Wow.
No one else is even close.
And I was a part of it.
And you were a part of it. This is your second appearance. And you even have me on your chalkboard. I wish we were TV. But we're not TV, we're radio.
This on here. I leave this all day for my neighbors to see where I'll be tonight. They walk by. Where's Rich Walker tonight? And they know now.
Well, hopefully we're going to be doing live shows again soon. I cannot wait to get back up on the stage. I bought my own microphone. I have my own mic now, so that's a little bit of COVID protection.
Let me see.
I have it in my
briefcase. Good.
30 years of comedy.
What kind of microphones you get?
The Shure one, I think.
SM58?
Yeah, the SM58. How did you know that?
Because it's the best mic ever made.
Is it really?
That's what Roger Daltrey spins on
That's what I bought. I got the SM58. I cannot believe with all the microphones on the market, you knew exactly which one I got.
That's the only one you buy. Was it $99?
Yes, I went to Sam Ash.
Look, I'm a psychic.
Damn, that's good. I mean, I have my blue mic that's what I do my voiceovers on the computer with.
Yeah.
Which I'm very happy with the blue mic, but for live, I never had a mic.
Look at that.
That's a good mic then. I got a good mic. It came with a case and everything.
Yeah. They could you could open up beer bottles with it. Anybody who's anybody when you're watching like a concert.
Yeah.
Look at their microphones. Shure SM58.
Shure SM58. Well, that's what I bought.
Good for you.
I think we're coming up at the end of the show, right, Mr. Producer?
We are coming up to the end of the show.
we are coming up to the end of the broadcast.
And there's a
So
brand
in
new.
this, if anybody wants to see me, I will be at One Eye Jack's on Thursday night
Nice. Where's One Eye Jack's?
in Bethpage.
Bethpage.
Yeah, don't ask me the address. I think it's Wanto Avenue.
Yes.
North
Yep.
Wanto Avenue.
North Wanter Avenue. And you'll be there
Thursday
Thursday
night,
night?
8 o'clock
Okay.
show. It's a, well, actually, it's not a show. It's a workshop.
Awesome.
So you'll be involved in a workshop watching comedians working on their material.
It's like the behind the scenes. And I am nowhere, but hopefully I'll be somewhere soon. But next week, thank you for tuning into the radio with my special guest co-host, Rich Walker. Thank you, Rich, for coming on the show tonight. And next week, we have Teresa from Tea Time with Teresa, which precedes this show on Strong Island Television, Mondays, 8 o'clock. And she will update her on her weight loss progress. Until then,
Nice.
thank you for tuning into the radio. Good night, Rich Walker.
Thanks
And good
for having
night.
me, guys.
You're welcome. Good night, Mr. Producer. And good night, radio audience.
Thank you.